Welcome to the Gin Weekly Update for Friday, July 6th, 2018. I'm Joel Yeast. The city of Chicago's ready. We're ready. Are you? Do you have your room booked? More about Global Dream Weekend, our event coming up this month in Chicago, Illinois, in just a moment with Dr. Tom Morter. But first, a few announcements for you. First, the Gin Report is out and ready right now. This month in the Gin Report, look for information about our Global Dream Weekend event coming up. A feature by Dr. Ted Morter. Your sips of gin, the German Report, and so much more. Look for the July edition of the Gin Report out right now. There's an old cliche that says, if I knew then what I know now, just imagine the possibilities. Well, imagine the possibilities for our youth of today. Our very own Aaron Ward of Planet Freedom Youth will be holding a very special Saturday Global Dream Weekend event. Give one of your children, grandchildren, neighbor, niece, nephew, the same memorable experience that you could have had by registering them for the very first Planet Freedom Youth training session on Saturday during Dream Weekend here in Chicago. Child educator Aaron Ward will spend time making sure that your children learn through fun and create their own reality. You will positively impact the next generation. Register using the link in this email or send us an email. support@ginunited.com. And now here's Dr. Tom Morter with your lessons of the week. Dr. Tom?
Hello, Dr. Tom here, and I would like to begin this Friday update with a congratulations for those of you who took advantage of our Summer Sizzler sale in upgrades for the Success Mastery course. Congrats to you for moving your life to another level. You know, in all the comments and all the conversations I've had about gin and inside gin and with members, the one conversation that has always remained the same is this: I'm so glad I upgraded to the next level. I have never heard one person say it was a mistake. And that is the beauty of applying the training. That is the beauty of living the principles. I'll share a story with you in a few moments about that very topic. For those of you coming to Chicago, if you are planning on coming to Chicago and you've not yet reserved your room, I told you last week those rooms were getting very thin. Lindsay has negotiated to get us a few more rooms added at the price at $129. So make sure that you call that contract. That room rate expires on 7/12. July the 12th, that rate will no longer be available to you. So if you're thinking about it, if you're close to it, if you're on the fence, if you're wanting, just make a decision. Register below. Register for the seminar. Get your rooms. Register for the event. Get your rooms. Come to Chicago. It will be spectacular. We are in the stages of planning that. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time. I know that to be a fact. As a matter of fact, that growth, that event, that energy that we're building, that's been building since we left New Orleans. I mean, before we left New Orleans, we began planning and plotting out how it's going to occur, who's going to speak, what's going to be said, what's the message. All of that's unfolding before your very eyes and will be revealed the very end of July. So I wanted to tell you that not only is that building, but gin is building and gin is growing. And we are announcing also that we will have a Gin Europe regional conference in Hanover, Germany. And it will be on September the 14th, 15th, and 16th. This is a chance. This is open to all gin members. This is open not only to those in Europe, but if you want to go, if you've been waiting to go to Germany, here's your chance. Get your passport. If you don't already have one, get your passport. Hang on to it. Get your passport. Go to Germany. What a great event. You will be able to understand how to apply the training. You will understand connectivity to your gin family worldwide. Peter and Claudia Koosters are sponsoring this event, and Thank you for reaching out to us. Thank you for taking massive and immediate action. Thank you for doing the legwork, putting together a program so that your fellow gin brothers and sisters in Europe can win. There'll be a button below for you to be able to register for that if you're interested in doing so. That worldwide growth, that better understanding, that sharing of gin success stories, all of that sharing of that information will also be covered by our Global Expansion Director, Lee Kinney, who will be there in attendance. He will be presenting. He will be getting you updates on what's happening in gin, what's happening not only in Europe, but in the U.S. and in other countries as well. We are seeing growth. Thank you, Lee, for your commitment and your ability to share this message with our brothers and sisters. We appreciate you. I would also like to tell you that one of our core tenets is go as far as you can see and then you'll see further. Well, that's exactly what's happening in Germany. Maybe you've never been to Germany. Maybe you're in Europe and you've never been to Germany. Maybe you've never been to Hanover. This is a chance, because once you get there, you will see further. Once you get there and get in that camaraderie and the carryover that happened from Chicago, that ball of energy, that excitement level that's coming, once you experience that and you feel that and you own that, you will begin to explain this club to other people. You will have a deeper understanding yourself of who you are and who you're becoming. Well, recently, this past week, as a matter of fact, I had a lesson to apply that go as far as you can see and you'll see further. As you know, the College World Series had just happened this past week, and Anna and I are Razorback fans, and they made the finals. And so we decided one night that we would go, after the first game, there was a 3-game series, we would go to Omaha. Well, it's about a 6-hour drive. So I started making some phone calls. The game's over like at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I started making some phone calls, and all of my friends that were there and people that I know and I'm affiliated with all said, man, tickets are tough to get. Don't know if you can get them. Hotel rooms are impossible. They've gone from $89 to $600 for this week because it's a sellout and it's a very exciting time. You have to understand, this is the championship at the collegiate level of baseball. And so it is a big deal. It's what people plan their family vacations around for years. And so there are very few things that excite me quite as much as someone saying you can't go there, you can't get a hotel room, you can't get a ticket. I don't subscribe to that can't kind of belief system. It just triggers something in me that says, sure you can. Someone just needs to ask the right questions to the right people with the right expectation, and it's amazing what can happen. So we decided to get up the next morning and go to Omaha. Well, we put it in the GPS, and it's a 6-hour and 9-minute drive from my home to the stadium, which is right across the street from the hotel that we ended up getting rooms in. And it was a team hotel. And, you know, those things that you just can never happen. Well, there just happened to be a room come up. Well, there just happened to be some tickets available as well. And so on the way up there, we put in the GPS to arrive, and it says it'd be 6 hours and 9 minutes. And on the way, there were some course corrections that took place because the GPS tracking system would say 20 miles ahead, traffic is stopped. Take an alternate route. Gosh, does that sound like life? And so to be able to get around that, you see, we couldn't see it. We were going as far as we could possibly see, and then we relied on training of someone else to tell us a better way to get there, an alternate way to get there. Sure, you could stay in the rut and stay in the traffic and sit there for another 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or you could simply listen to the directions that said, if you'll do this, you can get there in the same amount of time. This is a principle of gin. This is how life works. This is how you can go from point A to point B in your life, course correcting. We course corrected a number of times. There were 3 different times when it told us, the GPS told us, do something different than you had originally planned if your intention, you see, my plan wasn't to go on a particular road, on a particular route. My goal was to get to Omaha, specifically to a hotel. Specifically to a hotel across the street from the ballpark. You see, I began with the end in mind, and it didn't matter how many times I had to course correct. This is life. How many times has this happened for you? How do you react to that? How do you own that? Do you get upset when you have to do something differently than you thought you originally were going to do it? Do you feel anger or nervousness or anxiety when things don't go exactly like you had planned? Are you a perfectionist that can't deviate from that? What was the goal? What was the end result? The end result was to be in the stadium in time for first pitch. And it's exactly what we did. We got to the hotel, we got checked in, we got the car parked, we went across, they had a shuttle that took us right across, literally across the street, to be able to get there on time, and we made several adjustments along the way. Just like you. You make several adjustments along the way. During the ball game, which was a spectacular ball game, it got as exciting as games can get. You get to the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs and 2 strikes. I mean, it is the very last pitch. And so we began to understand the ability to practice detachment from the outcome because things didn't turn our way. Things went the other way, and Oregon State won a national championship as a result of what happened that first night. We stayed for the next night because it's a 3-game series, then it was 1-1. We began to understand that detachment from the outcome of an event that you can't control. I learned a long time ago to not base my happiness on the outcome of 18 to 22-year-old college athletes playing a game. It is simply a game. It's a game I enjoy. I like the excitement. I like the crowd. I like the enthusiasm. I like that feeling. It's kind of like the feeling of being in a major event, gin. It's that same feeling. There's excitement. It's greater than the sum of its parts. It's amazing what happens at those events. It's amazing what happens when you learn to take yourself and not to base your happiness on the outcome. Enjoy the experience. This is life. Enjoy your experience. For those of you that upgraded, enjoy your new experience. I can assure you it's well worth it. I can assure you your new experience and the experience that will happen in Chicago when we have the graduating class, the first original graduating class of senior officers that happen when they graduate from level 7, it will be an experience. It will be electric. It will be exciting. It will be some place you will remember being the rest of your life. Just like Anna and I will remember being in that stadium, watching the plays, watching it unfold, feeling the magic, being in the moment, and being excited and happy regardless of the outcome. We don't know when things that happen that appear to be disappointing or that you could apply and say, that wasn't the way I had hoped. It doesn't matter. You either believe the universe is a friendly place and something great will happen as a result of every action, or you don't. I choose to believe. I believe there are great things ahead for all of us. I believe there are greater things ahead for all of us when we take that journey together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Till next week, back to you, Joel.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Tom. And as he mentioned, book your rooms. Use the link provided to book your rooms for Global Dream Weekend. We're here in Chicago. We're getting ready for you, and we hope to see you very soon. That's the weekly update for Friday, July 6th, 2018. For Dr. Tom Morter, I'm Joel Yeast. We'll see you again soon.